Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Motorsport Manager. This is episode number 20. Third race, season number 2. Starting to feel better and better about where we're headed. We're making more progress. And with the quality of drivers, I think we should start consistently seeing points appearances. But at the same time, other teams have better headquarters. They're going to make more rapid progress here in the next little bit of maxing out the parts and the reliability of the cars that they have right now. So Sean-Eric Vergne still has made no progress besides that he's got some new suspension, as does Max Verstappen for this race. Outside of that, Verstappen's car is now about 80% plus across the board. Vergne's car is still hovering high 50s, low 60s for many of the parts. So he could still have a rough day today. Verstappen hopefully could be comfortably inside the top 15, but not for qualifying. The car as a whole, one lap, single pace without major bonuses. Everybody's going to have qualifying bonuses, not necessarily the max race bonuses. And therefore, single lap pace is just not quite there. We're just better on race day than we are in qualifying. But today, we actually have a minor chance. We do have a minor chance today. And here's where that chance is related to. It's very dim because it's at the edge of the window. But you might be able to see just outside of the 5-minute mark is when rain is going to begin to fall. We had rain during practice. We're going to get rain during qualifying. And we are going to see rain during the race as well. So tactically, things could get crazy in this one. I'm going to get out there early before things really start to get wet. And if we're lucky, somebody's going to wait to go out, and then it's already going to be wet, and they're going to ruin their chances in qualifying. Dry for now, so we go out with the dry tire. I'm going to wait just a few seconds for Vergne, and then we're going to get him out as well. We'll set Vergne to auto, but for now, we're going to get Verstappen ready. All right, let's go ahead and get things hot first, and then we'll worry about cooling them down. I've found in this game it's so much easier to cool things down instead of having to still fight for heat because the brake temperatures are always a struggle. And where are we at? We're going to need... Okay. Time to back off, start cooling things down because we're getting awfully late here. Alright, so tire temp's perfect, brake temp's a little bit hot. You can see that actually, Vergne did a fantastic job in preparation. The AI does not do that very well, but they did that today. That's actually almost worrying because that means other drivers are going to do it. Now everybody's on an out lap except for Magnussen and Ericsson. A couple guys just leaving, so hopefully it'll start raining before the end of their laps. But I would imagine at 7:40, a minute and a half around, so about 2 minutes. Yeah, very well could be that some of the cars are going to be finishing up their first hot lap with the rain already beginning to fall. So if we're lucky, it'll hurt things a little bit. Verstappen, don't be deceived by the purple. That's because nobody else has reached it yet. He's faster than Vergne. Vergne's the second one to reach it, but Ocon now going quicker than us. We're a second and a half off pace of Ocon after the second sector. We'll see how that third sector is once Ocon crosses. Vergne almost a full second slower than Verstappen. That's a big gap. And we are 2.3 slower than Hamilton, 3.3 slower for Vergne. In terms of time, we're almost there with Stroll, but this is not good on the times, and the rain has not started falling yet. Everybody's already started their hot laps, so most of the cars are going to be in before Glock goes top ahead of Hamilton, the other Mercedes. And now the rain begins to fall. Half the cars are out on track, but a lot of them are just about to finish. Norris, slower. Leclerc, just faster. Rosberg in between the two cars. It is starting to slow them down a little bit. These last 5, it'd be nice if they go slower, but a lot of them are right there with us, but not slower. At least Verstappen Verstappen might get out of Q1. Verstappen might get out of Q1. Vern, he won't. He's in 22nd. We've got to keep an eye on the weather, and it's weather all the way through to the end. So yes, Verstappen has escaped Q1. He's going to get another chance, depending on how things go in Q2. He could get higher than 18th if we get a little luck there as well. It's going to dry out here, but it's not drying out all the way because the rain is coming back. Nobody will improve their time. Norris, the only one who's got any sort of chance here, he and Rosberg, and you can see how much slower they are than they were. 3.5 seconds down, he's already slower than his previous lap. So everybody, white sector, nobody's going faster. So Verstappen escapes Q1. That's big. Norris, Rosberg, Verline, and then Kubica and Ericsson out with Vern. Track is soaked. We'll see how Q2 goes. If we luck out again, if we can catch a dry window among rain, then maybe Verstappen could again gain some positions. He's already, having gone through in 18th, he already can't do any worse than where he's at now. So excited for the prospects here in Q2 for Verstappen. We're starting in the dry. Track is dry, and it looks like it's going to stay that way. We're supposed to get grip, at least early on. So let's go ahead and get a banker lap, especially while it's dry. I'm going to go auto because the AI actually did a really good job. So let's speed this up. Let's see if they do the same for him that they managed to pull for Vern. And there you go. Perfect and good as he gets ready to start his lap. So yes, the AI is all over it on this track anyway, in terms of providing a good warm-up lap. Verstappen, don't be fooled by the purple. There you go. He is almost 7/10 down in that first sector. That is slow. 8/10 down now. Somebody else just went a couple tenths faster. That's so quick. And here we go with times again. 1.4. Until we get there, there's no telling where we're at. But everybody looks to be getting a dry lap in before the rain hits. If rain even hits. So we are slowest so far. And that's not a good sign. No rain coming, so we're definitely going to be 18th because we're way out of our element. Hulkenberg put in a really, really poor lap. He's still 1/10 of a second quicker than us. He is a full 1.5 seconds slower than Ricciardo. That's Gasly. Not Ghastly, but Gasly type performance against Verstappen when he was in the Red Bull. Poor guy. Wickens also pretty slow. Leclerc, Cassidy are down there, but we are the slowest. You could see maybe a couple tenths coming out if we get a last second, and yes, we're staying dry and the grip is up. So we're looking at 1.5 minutes, which means we need a good 2:15 to get out there. Now those guys are all out there earlier than I am. All the back markers. Front runners haven't come out, but I doubt they will or even need to. Stroll hasn't gone out yet. He might miss out entirely if he doesn't get out there in the next few seconds. Speed it up, speed it up, speed it up, and then we will go. Okay, we've got some clean air. Final minute of the session. Right behind us is Perez. Oh, he's on his hot lap. As Perez finishes his lap. Stroll just now heading out. It's too late for him. Too late. Stroll is not going to get a time in. Just 10 seconds left. Times are already coming in for the other drivers. we're going to get a little more grip, so the track is rubbering in a little bit more. We are green in Sector 1. So are the other drivers around us. Cassidy is not. Cassidy does not improve his time. We might beat Cassidy. Green in Sector 2. So far, so good. 2.3. We've got a full 8 tenths to play with on our own time, but we've only got 6 tenths to play with on if we're going to beat Cassidy. And we improved the time, but only slightly. That was to be expected considering things stayed dry. And we had no business being in Q2. And we only got there because of timing. Glock quickest again, and he's a full second faster than Hamilton. Wow, Timo Glock is a good driver, but just surprised. I mean, it's Hamilton. We'll see. This is Q3. This is the one that counts for them. And it's wet this time. And we're seeing a mixture of strategies, intermediates and wets. And the track's drying out already. Will they get back out there? On the Ultras, Bottas has not gone yet. Bottas is going to be last. Wow, Bottas did not go back out. Absolutely ruined his own day. So the Ferrari's 12th, 11 cars do go back out for a second lap with Hamilton on top of Glock. I told you. There might have been a second gap, but this is the one that counts. And when it counted, Hamilton went out there and put out a fantastic lap. A 129, just about flat. Glock second, 10th down. Vettel just behind that. Just a couple 100s off of Glock's pace. And then Gasly and Ocon with Bottas totally screwing up qualifying, knocking himself down a bit. And of course, Ricciardo constantly taking that best of the rest. You can see he's half a second, more than half a second behind Ocon. Alright, well, we're in Beijing. It's Sunday. It's race day. And we're not starting from the very back. This is one of the better performances we have had. I have had one other time where we got out of Q1 in Season 1, and it was for the exact same reasons as this. But that was rain that started falling even sooner. We finished our lap when the rain was starting to fall. And everyone else was caught up in that rain. So I have had that happen before, that scenario where times were drastically slower and we got out of Q1 that way. This time that rain fell a little bit later, but just in time to start slowing down some of the cars and just getting one car to squeeze their way out. But here we are now for race day. It's still only 18th and 22nd. This is not like we have good starting positions. It's just better than what we're used to. But last time out, Max Verstappen had an incredible start to the race. And that start put him up into the points right away on the first lap. And he never moved back out of the points. Now, we're supposed to be getting rain for this race. But it looks like as far as lap 30, it's going to be dry. So we're going at least 30 laps in the dry. Let's go ahead and see what we have for tires. Now, the problem for me is the Ultras, because practice was wet through a good chunk of it, we used intermediates, got to level 1 or 2 on those bonus-wise, and then we used the Ultras, got all the way through 3 levels, because I knew that at least some of qualifying could be dry, and it turns out it was, and it benefited us. But then race, I had no idea what to expect. So I tried to go for the softs, and we didn't make it. But even then, 32 laps, that's not going to go 30... Well, hold on. That would go 32 laps. But I don't have the bonuses. This is where my bonus is. So I think we're looking at least a 2-stopper, but expecting that there's going to be rain. So we're going to go with the ultras. We're going to go for the pace. We're going to have at least one stop before. And so we need to take the ultimate pace today and push as hard as we can, because we are going to be taking at least 2 stops in this race. Well, at least one. It depends on the raid, but according to the weather report, right, 30 laps. We're going to be pitting long before 30 laps. So we'll keep an eye on the weather report then and adjust accordingly. But we start this race on ultra softs, knowing that there's going to be at least 2 stops to make in this race. So we're going to be more aggressive today. And let's look at the strategy of those outside the top 12. Soft, hard, 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 ultras, soft, soft, ultras, ultras, and hard. Alrighty. Very mixed bag from the back of the field. 5 red lights. We're in China, and Verstappen gets another excellent start. Wow, that's a huge group of cars that we just caught up to, and Verstappen finds his way through part of it, but then has to kind of check up. So I think he gained 1 or 2, but lost 1 or 2. And how is that Audi just flying their way through? Audi really benefiting here, and Verstappen is 15th. Vern is 24th. Really poor start by Vern. Verstappen caught in a lot of traffic here. If Vern is already in last place, I may just back off with him early, but right now Verstappen is in the middle of everything, battling. Hamilton got a good start and leads this race, but his teammate Glock, who started beside him on the front row, had a poor start and is down to 6th. Gasly is all the way up to 2nd, Ricciardo 3rd, Vettel just 4th, so he started on row 2, but he's in 4th position. Ocon in 5th. Perez, Wickens, Hulkenberg, and Cassidy round out the top 10. Right there is Leclerc, Bottas, and then Verstappen in 13th. Field very much bunched up. And I'm looking at tire heating and where we're at right now. There's no reason to go neutral. Fuel, at some point, we need to go neutral. But we're going to keep an eye on the water on track. And we're going to start speeding things up, at least slightly so far. Verstappen running 13th. Still, field very much bunched up. 3 cars under investigation after Raikkonen collides into Rosberg. No penalty. Another collision. It just showed up again. Burn vibrations. The lockup from Verstappen there. He's okay. Well, 61%. 23rd, he gets around signs. Okay, we're still good here. Hulkenberg locks up. Now the tires are in the temperature range we want them to be. So we're going to start backing off, but let's keep up the engine pressure for now. Leclerc is in 11th in the Toro Rosso. They have a different look here. It looks like the Audi, but it's not. It's just the lighting from where I'm at looks a little darker than normal. Ericsson with a problem and pitting. So he had a puncture and he had some sort of mechanical issue. So Ericsson's fairly lengthy pit. Might have been a wing. Comes out 65 seconds down. So he is well down the order. Hamilton quickly pulling away. 6.5 second lead already over Gasly. Vettel is now back up into 3rd, but he's 10 seconds down. And Verstappen right away into the points and in 12th, so he's looking good there. Leclerc just ahead of us, Hulkenberg just behind us. And Hulkenberg looking to put some pressure on. Tires are cooling back down. Okay, that's good. Vern with a little lockup. Not good. We're going to switch. Get a mixture of push. Allows us to be a little bit aggressive. But Vern is last place outside of Ericsson. So for him, maybe we just We're going to stay on neutral on the fuel mode for quite a while. Recover what he's burnt up. So lap 6 of 64. No changes in the order at the front. Verstappen pushing the tires is going better for him than pushing the engine mode. And he has closed right up on Leclerc and is now challenging Leclerc for 11th place. Leclerc did make it into Q3, so Leclerc is on some used Ultras. Magnussen and Grosjean as well. Norris all the way down to 20th on used Ultras. And Verstappen goes through into 11th place. A nice move to the inside there on Leclerc. 8 cars ahead of us. All on their partially used Ultras. Ocon's not looking so good. Vettel's tires not looking so good. Hamilton's and Gasly's are okay. Perez, Ricciardo making those tires last. Wickens and Cassidy both running well ahead of us. That's Wickens in the Williams. Cassidy in the Toro Rosso. He's been solid all season, so no surprise by his position as Leclerc in the other Toro Rosso battles back, but Verstappen defends well and keeps 11th place. But a little lockup there. It's going to open that window to the outside for Hülkenberg, but Verstappen blocking extremely well at this point in time. We're going to go neutral now for Verne, who is now 22nd. He got around Sainz. He's on a better tire, so he should be able to stay ahead, but we also need to back off here as well before those tires start overheating. Grip is coming, and looks like we're going to push at least into lap 40 without any rain. Problem behind us, Rosberg colliding with Kimi Räikkönen and has punctured. And he is going to drop well down the order, not even into the pits yet. Magnussen, who he collided with, has to pit. And so they are both going to drop down the order. Verne now up into 21st, while Sainz has gotten back around him. Grosjean's going to pit here very soon, probably this lap. Both cars doing about the same in terms of tires and fuel, but definitely not on position. It's only 8 seconds separating them, so there's 8 seconds from 11th to 21st right now. We are 2 seconds behind Cassidy in front of us, and we are slowly gaining on him, so we're on the better tire, but I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to get anything out of these. Verne goes around Grosjean because he pits. So Verne's up to 20th. That's 4 cars that have pit now. Norris, Leclerc, and a number of front runners are all going to pit very soon. Fuel nearly neutralized, but I think we need to defend. So we're going to up the mode for just a little bit here for maybe a lap, and then I think we'll switch to tires. Verne I'm not worried about. I'll let him continue his recovery. Kubica with a lockup. Kubica is running 16th. Battle behind us. Verstappen defending so well against faster cars that they are battling each other and not really putting in too much of a fight when it comes to Verstappen himself. Let's go ahead and turn on the tires again, turn up the heat a little bit more, and see if we can pull away a little bit from those guys. Laps 13. These tires are a lot more worn than I would have expected for just 13 laps, though. I figured that they would make it 20 plus, but considering we're at 32 and 37%, that is not a sign that we're going to get anywhere near 20 laps out of these tires. That's more of a sign of we're going to get about 16 laps out of these tires. That's much less than what I wanted, because then another pit stop only puts us at about 32, and still half a race to go after that. So we'd be looking at a 3-stopper on Ultras. I don't even think I have 3 sets of Ultras. And we're already looking at 75% of the race without rain. So if rain's coming, it's coming at the end. Rosberg retired. I missed that just moments ago. So Rosberg out of the race. So after his flat spotting and required pit stop, he did not fix the problems, and Verstappen, right in front of our face, has crashed. We're going to have virtual safety car, 55 seconds of it. That is enough time to get Vern in, so we are going to pit Vern. And Max, with no pressure, makes a mistake, runs wide, and crashes into the barrier, ending his race prematurely. And now we've got to rely on Jean-Eric Verne, who is not in a strong position to score points today at all, while Verstappen very much was. So, Verstappen, yeah, oops. Oops is right. Okay, well, we get the free pit stop. We're going to come back out here. Virtual safety car ends just after we exit. That's really good timing on that. And he comes out in 20th. So Verne only lost one place and got a free pit stop. Almost free pit stop anyway. It wasn't completely without cost, but it was much cheaper than a regular pit stop. So Max, yeah, might have screwed the pooch today, but at least you did it at a time where Verne was able to get a nearly free pit stop out of it that nobody else took advantage of either. Speed things up for a little bit. Keep an eye on the tire heating. I will have to back off, but we do have the fuel to make up for it. So lap 18 now. Raikkonen pitting. We move ahead. That's back to 19th position. Leclerc's still in front of us. All those guys have pit once. We've pit once. Now it's Kubica pitting. That moves us up to 18th. Front runners are pitting. Hamilton has not pit yet. Gasly has, but it's a 23-second gap between them. Hamilton pits now. Will he stay in front? He does. 4.5 seconds clear, so it's about a 19-second pit delta, it looks like. Vettel is third. Ricciardo fourth. Glock. Bottas. So Glock, after the problems at the start, is in fifth. Bottas, after poor qualifying, is sixth. Wickens has not pit yet. Williams is running way too high up the order, though, but Ocon just 1 second behind. Perez just a couple seconds behind that. Cassidy, Hulkenberg, Stroll, none of them have pit. Sainz, Verline have not pit. We've got the front runners, and then we've got a back group, and it starts with Norris, and we are just 6 seconds down from Norris. So Norris, Magnussen, Leclerc, and then myself. But I don't know, Verne. Right now, he's not looking like he is a likely candidate to get into the top 15 today. Rain, there it is. Rain is coming. Clearly see it there at about lap 46. So lap 46, that means we are about 16 laps out from that now, which means one more set of ultras. So we are going to have to stop one more time, put on one more set of ultras, softs. We'll go just another lap or two here. And then we'll be on intermediates till the end. Alright, that was race leader Lewis Hamilton flying on by. Ericsson fixing a problem with his second pit stop. And Verne, whoa. Oh my goodness. I was going way too fast. Way too fast. And I just let those tires really go away. We're down to 34% on this wing already. That's only going to get us 58. So, we're screwed. We're screwed. Verne is so far off the pace all of a sudden as he drove off the cliff. So we've lost close to 10 seconds in about 2 laps here. You can see he's 5.5 seconds off the pace for this lap. That was unintentional, completely unintentional, and if he hadn't screwed the race already himself, I certainly just did the job for him. So, times 12 speed, if it wasn't for Verstappen's crash, we'd have a race today, but now we're just gonna speed on through towards the end because Hamilton has crashed, safety car is out. The race leader running away, pulling away from the field, has crashed. A lot of the cars are stopping now. But we already have what we need to get to the rain, so there's no reason for us to stop. Safety car heading to the garage. We'll go times 2. Actually get a little run on the Ferrari, but then immediately get overtaken by Timo Glock in the Mercedes. Those are not the guys I'm competing with, but as we are a lap down, there are 17 cars on the lead lap. Everybody 18th on down have been lapped, so Kubica, Raikkonen, myself, Ericsson are going to battle it out for nothing, which is every reason to go times 12 speed the rest of the way. We are completely out of contention now. And Wickens crashes. Safety car again coming out. Now we have something to go for in that we're going to put on intermediates now. And we're going to fix the wing now. So we're going to head into the pits. It's going to reset us to the back, but we're not losing anything. It's one position. Rear wing. Safety car, 1 lap to go, and we're going to catch right back up. So we're actually in the same position because Wickens drops back. We move back behind 1 car. But now we're on the intermediates before the rain falls, but only just before the rain falls. See how much time we end up losing, though. These tires will get us to the end of the race. They will absolutely get us to the end of the race. I was hoping there was going to be 1 more lap, but where that safety car picked us up. We've got 2 laps now. So we're going to see how much time we lose over the next lap or 2, but then that rain's going to start to fall, and we'll immediately start to gain time, and all those guys are going to have to pit, so hopefully we don't lose too much time. We're really just battling for 18th anyway, since we're that lap down, and unfortunately, unlike in real life, they don't give you that lap back here, and we're starting to see sprinkles on one part of the track. I see a little blue where it says damp. So it's starting to sprinkle on one part of the track. And we are losing time though, but we're not that far down. There it is. There's the part of the track where it's raining. Front stretch. And we're now on a damp track. Now I've lost 12 seconds already. That's a lot. That is a lot to lose in just, what, 1 lap, 2 laps? But we're still only 12 seconds down, so the damp track is now affecting everybody else. Ricardo pits. 13 seconds down. Yellow flag. Cars running wide. Cars locking up, and we have caught back up. So here we are. We are back in this thing. So it did work out. And right now it's still only damp. I mean, the conditions are going to change drastically. Ricardo hanging out there in 15th. And we are now faster. There you go. We are now faster than the cars around us as we go around Verline. So it's 17th through 20th. That's now a lap down. Perez is pitting. Big problem is I don't gain anything from this because, well, all we can do is manage 17th. And speaking of 17th, he's still more than a straight ahead of me. That is Kubica. We'll see. So far, 3 cars have changed the tires. Others still waiting. And I've already gone around 2 cars, Perez being one of them. Perez with his pit, now a McLaren. So that's 3 cars I've gone around or past from the back of the grid. About 48. Anyone pitting this lap? That's a no. Now, after Hamilton crashed out, it is Vettel who leads this race and has pulled away on the same driver that Hamilton had pulled away from, which was Gasly. Gasly's in second, 14 seconds down. Glock has made his way up through the field, up to third, and is now just 2 seconds down on the Red Bull. Bottas is fourth, also making his way through the grid. He's been following Glock as they've made their way through. Ocon, Perez with a problem. Grosjean spins. Ooh, and there's a big spin in front of me. That was Raikkonen. No, that's 13th. That's Grosjean. That's Grosjean, so I had to check up to avoid, hopefully, that did not cause me damage. Not that I'm aware of. And now we're battling with midfielders that are a lap ahead of us. Stroll with a lockup. More and more cars are now stopping as the conditions very much have gone wet. Leclerc with a spin. Now that it's wet, we're seeing a lot of mistakes from those who have not switched off of the dry tires yet. Raikkonen into the pits. Ericsson into the pits. I'm around both of them, up into 18th. Kubica now the only one left on my lap, but Kubica is well ahead. But because he stayed out, I'm gaining a lot of time on him. I'm only 5 seconds ahead of Raikkonen with very used tires. But Ericsson is certainly back far enough, 15 seconds down. And Kubica we're catching up to, so he'll be well behind us. And we are still moving around midfielders that have yet to pit. That was Magnussen on soft tires. Raikkonen has spun, so the car that was just behind us has spun out, going backwards. Let's go ahead and push again as the tires are almost cold. 62% on the tire wear. The tire wear was really bad when it was not raining, but now that it is raining, and that's what these are made for, they're lasting just fine for a line with lockup. We really only have a chance at one more position, though, unless somebody DNFs. Norris with a spin. That was Stroll we just passed. Front runners still have not pit. Ericsson with spin. Verline colliding with Ericsson while he spun. Verline and Grosjean both messing up their races. Maybe, just maybe, if somebody really screws things up in front, even if they don't DNF, we could gain enough ground. Maybe we're get another position or two, but 15th, I don't know. 15th seems a bit of a stretch. We've caught up to Kubica. He was 20 seconds ahead of us just a few laps ago. We're up into 17th. He still has not pit. Grosjean and Verline still have not pit, and we're now less than a minute off their pace. That is Cassidy in 8th on intermediates, running a really solid race and a lap ahead of us. We've gone from every car ahead of us, 16th on through, right, a full lap, and 16th on through, we're now only behind the top 8. Grosjean with a spin, so another problem for him. Grosjean is now just 23 seconds ahead of us, but he's on intermediates. Verline just passed him. He came out of the pits. So we're 20 seconds behind the next car, and we're 11 seconds ahead of the next car. Gasly with a lockup. This is Cassidy that we're coming back. No. That is Ocon going backwards because he has not pit. Stroll has not pit, so Stroll continues to go backwards. We passed Stroll a while ago, and we are now 2 straights ahead of him, and he continues to stay on the hard compound. With a pit stop, he'll go back even further. Front runners pitting. Vettel's still out there, though. Ricciardo just 13 seconds down. Ricciardo could win this race. Glock spins. Vern 2 positions out of the points. Not looking likely because of that lap down scenario, but maybe, just maybe, Vettel pits. Ricciardo takes the race lead. Sainz gets around as well, but Vettel is just over a second down. On fresh tires. With the faster car. He will probably recover that, but can he recover the lead? Vern still in 17th. Ocon pits. Stroll pit. Last lap. So everybody finally onto the intermediates. We were there first. Our tires are used. Ricciardo's tires are used. He was the first one to pit, and he has absolutely benefited from it as he is in first place. In a way, I benefited from it. I got around 3 cars. But what can we do from here? Minute 16 down overall. Ocon with a spin. This is our best chance, is some sort of spin, some sort of collision to help us out because we are way too far behind, almost 30 seconds down. Perez with a spin. Those midfielders, mistake after mistake, and we keep gaining some ground. Let's go back to neutral, save these tires for a little bit, and let's speed things up. Lap 58. Exactly 30 seconds behind Grosjean. And that's a lot better than a full lap down. Vettel takes the lead. Ricciardo drops to second. Vettel has made his way back through both of those cars and into the race lead. Brakes 22%. Just a handful of laps to go. They should make it. Magnussen with a spin. Glock with a problem. And pitting, fixing that problem, but he comes out in 14th. Vettel spins. And his lead is down to 0.3 of a second. So he recovers from his spin quickly enough after having previously pulled away. And Ricciardo, at the end of the life of those tires, is just kind of hanging on in the much slower Renault. Sainz right there in 3rd, so we've got a battle on our hands. But of course Vettel has no reason to lose this. Cassidy all the way up in 4th place, and Leclerc in 5th. Toro Rosso having a fantastic race. Bottas only in 6th. Gasly 7th. Norris, Hulkenberg, and then Stroll back in 10th. For a moment I thought I would have a chance at Stroll, but he changed tires and did what he had to do. Magnussen, Ocon all the way down to 12th after running around 4th or 5th by staying out on the tires too long. Perez 13th. Glock, after his problem, all the way down to 14th. Verline is 15th. In 16th is Grosjean. He does have a problem. But I am still 30 seconds down. In fact, I'm 33 seconds down now. So Vern is not gaining any ground, and he's down to 28%. But the car will hold out. Magnussen with a problem. 10-second penalty for causing a collision. I am not close enough for that to matter. But it will knock him down at least another spot. He went from 11th to 12th, and that'll knock him from 12th to 13th. Vern, this will not be enough. This will not be enough. Are we ahead of any teams? Alfa Romeo is behind us. And that's it. So this is going to be 11th out of 12 teams today. Very, very poor performance for us. Vettel crosses the line to start the final lap. Ricciardo already 6 seconds behind. Sainz is 8 seconds behind. Vettel has made multiple mistakes today, but there's nobody strong enough to punish him. Vettel spins again. Vettel spins again here on the last lap, and he is still in front of Ricciardo. He is driving a terrible race, and yet he's going to come away with the race win. Vettel has had multiple spins, multiple problems. He lost this race early. He lost this race in the middle. He lost this race late. But nobody could punish him for the many, many mistakes he made. And Vettel comes away with the race win. But a fantastic second for Daniel Ricciardo, who, if he had the tire life, absolutely would have won this race. Sainz finishes third. Cassidy, Leclerc, Bottas, Gasly, Norris, Hulkenberg, and Stroll are your top 10. First car a lap down. I make it across in 17th. Jean-Eric Vergne. Max Verstappen, who was running comfortably in the top 15, about 11 or 12, crashes out of this one early on, long before the wet weather. Very disappointing performance by Max Verstappen today. And Vergne himself just couldn't do enough. He didn't have a strong start at all. It was too far down. Remember, he was 24th for a while there. No points. Only 11th out of 12 teams. A little bit of chaos on the day. And chaos did not benefit us this time. Sometimes it does. Today, it absolutely did not. One of the many mistakes Vettel made is he waited to pit way too long. Ricciardo got from way down the order into second place because he pit early. These guys at least did an okay job on their timing. These cars were way too late, and you can see that Vettel and Ocon were the worst in that department. That was one of the many mistakes he made today. Of course, that one was on the team. I almost made a mistake by going too early, a lap or two, but in the end, it did work out for us. Remember, we were already a lap down, and I only gave up one position to pit when I did. And while I lost 12 seconds, I gained it back, and then a whole lot more getting past these guys and having them finish behind me. So that strategy paid off. But that is going to do it for this episode and this race. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.